Good evening. Welcome to another wonderful podcast, Real Arsenal Talk. Your host, Steve-O, Jihadi, John Loza.
No, we're going to have to do that again. We're going to do that again. We'll do that again.
You
We are not doing that.
You're just bad as my mate. He's like, oh no, I daren't do that. I'll lose my job. Fuck you off.
No, it's not even about my job. I don't care about that. I mean, and to be honest, we've talked about some fucking real controversial shit. I just feel like it comes out of nowhere right on a welcome, Jihadi John. It just...
I'll just say it again now.
You know what, we're just gonna leave it. No, we're just gonna leave it in now. It doesn't matter. We've already started now. So for everyone listening, we have already started the podcast. That was not a test, even though it sounded like one, but it just wasn't. It was the real deal. Steve-O, on the off chance that we haven't been cancelled, how are you doing?
I'm great. Yes, as you can tell, I'm in a good mood. But
I love it.
That is because I have been kid-free all weekend. But it's just been ruined because they're back now.
Well, maybe don't say it that loud.
No,
it's all right.
Yes.
I'm sure they know. I'm sure they know by this point, right?
Yeah, I've nearly killed them since they've been back, so
it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
What's new?
Yeah, just standard stuff in a household. So that is some stuff that I have to get used to very, very quickly. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So yeah.
Not twins.
No, just not twins. Just the one, we believe, anyway. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of movement going on in there, so I'm thinking, I don't know if he's like fighting the other one.
Have you found out the sex of it yet?
He's a boy.
Oh, he's a boy.
Gonna be a boy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a carrier of the name.
Yes.
So that's
it.
what gets me more excited. That's what gets me more
Are you married?
excited
By the
about
way?
Yeah.
Oh, right. When did you get married?
Fully engaged and married. So we got married in 2022.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's probably why I didn't know, because I've never seen you for like probably 54 years.
It's been a long time, yeah. At least 48 for sure. Do you know what I mean? At least 48.
Yeah, nice one.
But no, yes, 2020. But it wasn't. We didn't even have a wedding. We just went to the
Bahamas.
civil fucking office. Went to the civil office, and civilly we signed. Yeah, in a civilized manner, we signed the deed, and it was done.
The legal deed.
The legal deed, and it was done. And for our honeymoon, actually, we went to York.
New York?
It was quite,
Old York?
No, Old York.
Nice one.
Old York, so that was quite fun. Enjoyed that. But doesn't matter. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. We don't care.
Yes, absolutely, mate. No worries. Don't waste any money. That's what I like to say.
That's it. Yeah, that was my whole argument, and she agreed as well. To be fair, so which is quite good. And it wasn't like I had to convince her. No, she was already convinced that it shouldn't happen. And the problem is, being Albanian, both of us, it's extra pressure because obviously parents they sort of demand a wedding and whatnot, but it's in the culture, isn't it? And I was like, nope, we're not doing any of that.
Yeah,
not doing any of that. No. My dad was like, oh, I said to him, it's a waste of money, and then he goes, oh, well, you'll make that money back because people that's what they do. I was like, I'm not going into this as a business transaction. Do you know what I mean? Like what I put in, I get out of it. So I'd rather not just put anything out.
Well, at least if you do sort of split up, there's no remorse because no one's going to get all the money as such. You done wasted it.
I mean, that's a very, very cynical way of looking at it, but yes.
That happens to all of us, doesn't it? At some point.
At some point, yeah. I'm sure it will. But until that day, we are together still, so that's good. And
names.
Can have a little boy.
Don't tell me you're not going to go anything sort of too ridiculous in the Arsenal line. You're not going to think of
like Pierre-Emerick or something.
Or Freddie.
Pierre-Emerick or like Aubameyang Balani or some shit.
Sanchez Jihadi. I mean, no. Sorry.
We were going with Vermaelen's first name, so
all right.
that's the name we're gonna.
Really?
I think we're sort of sticking with. Yeah,
good.
What was it, Jihadi? Something Vermaelen? No. We're definitely getting cancelled. Yeah, definitely getting cancelled. But yeah, so I think we went with a more universal name, to be honest. Something that could be both for here in England and in Albania.
It would be quite apt if he becomes an Arsenal fan, though.
Well, I mean,
doubting
that's
Thomas.
That's what doubting. Oh God, I know. After we decided on the name, I did a bit more digging into the name. I was like, how did I not know this? I went to a Catholic school. Like, how did I not know about this guy? Do you know what I mean? No one mentioned this geezer because he was doubting. So that, it was blasphemous.
Yes. No doubt you'll doubt the name when it arrives and think.
Yeah, it's like, does he really look like that? I don't know. But so the doubting, it's going to be the doubting name for sure. But
Good.
So obviously an Arsenal fan. I say obviously. I can't imagine him being any other fan unless he doesn't like football at all, which is also fair, I guess. As long as he likes Formula One.
Yeah.
Then
you'll have to.
If he doesn't like any of those, then get the fuck out.
You'll have to send me your address and stuff, and I can send you like a present for its born, like a Chelsea present or something like that. When it's
hello. I will burn it on the podcast. I will burn it on the podcast, like literally on the video. I'll do it. No. Well, not yet. Don't send me yet. Don't. Yeah. I mean, worse than that is obviously Tottenham, but don't do that.
Because then maybe both, like a knitted cardigan, do this, like a little onesie.
We can't do this podcast if you send me those. We'll have to call it quits, I'm afraid. So, friendship over.
Anyway,
yes. I think we're obviously we've talked enough about personal lives and whatnot, and I suppose we talk a bit about Arsenal, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, why not?
Go for it.
I suppose they played twice last week. Well, once on the weekend and obviously once during the week. Unfortunately for both of us, though, we wanted to go to that, but because of the nature of our locations, it's a bit difficult to do that on a last moment's notice sort of thing. That type of stuff has to be planned a bit further in advance. So I'm hoping we can catch a league game together because it would have been fun to watch Arsenal get beat against Villarreal. It would have been excellent.
It's a good job we didn't go, really, wasn't it?
It's a fantastic job we didn't go because that would have been the most depressing night ever. It would have been excited because both of us are there and cheering our team, and then 3-0. Was it 3-0?
3-2.
Yeah, it was 3-0. 3-2. Sorry, yeah, that's right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I forgot. They scored right at the end. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, should we start there a little bit, I guess? Yeah, we'll start there. Okay, we'll start there. Well, I mean, what did you think of the match? Because I watched like full extended highlights and I caught like majority of the match sort of thing, but I was just not impressed. It just felt like a continuation of what we'd already seen against Tottenham and Newcastle, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it was such a indifferent performance. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of like, all right, okay, let's just shake it off. Just, have a bit of a run around. We've got the league coming up soon, so let's not do anything crazy. That's the kind of feeling I got from it. I don't know how you saw it.
I felt as though it was Arteta kind of just giving everyone his like a few minutes. I don't necessarily. I mean, obviously, I was disgusted at the performance. I thought it was absolutely atrocious. But is that because the team selection was that bad? And I think after the game yesterday, I think that was evident that that was going to probably be his team. So I kind of forgive him in a way, but still don't take away from the fact that we looked a million miles away from being ready for the league. But the game yesterday, which we'll come on to, I think that was probably as close as you're going to get to our starting 11, possibly.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right though. With the midweek game, you kind of saw what was coming just from the team selection, and you hit the nail right on the head there. And I think it was just more of a preparation for this weekend, for being closer to next week, to the start of the league. So yeah, I could obviously. Look, I know we weren't very happy with the preseason performances, and we made that very clear. But at the same time, we also understand that it isn't. It's not the end of the world, really. It's just it's not even about the result. It was more about the performance. We don't care if we lost, as long as we could see a clear way of playing, which we didn't see. And I think that's where the frustration obviously came from. And look, hindsight is 2020. I understand that. And obviously, looking back, say, why were we so bothered about these matches? But yeah, whilst watching it, it feels like a real match that has meaning. You take yourself out of this pre-season, mind state, and you think, right, no, I'm watching a match here. I want to see my team win. Like, we literally, it's taking it back to the fundamentals of football, of watching 11 versus 11, and cheering a winning team, or like sort of 1-in-1 team to win. Do you know what I mean? That's the way you look at it. It wasn't even taking into consideration anything, tactically, or a weaker team, or if he's has some players in reserve, waiting for them to play this match against Athletic. Against Athletic that we played yesterday. So everything, once you jump out and zoom out a little bit, everything comes together. But right in the moment, I think that's where we were, weren't we? Really,
I think as well, when you analyse all the games, normally in a pre-season, not all the time, but years gone by, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I think it's changed recently. But this pre-season, we played teams that really difficult. Not something really difficult. Obviously, you've got AC Milan, you had Newcastle, Tottenham, obviously Villarreal and Atletico. I mean, they're like really decent teams, aren't they, really? To be fair, Newcastle obviously pushed us quite close last season. Tottenham obviously always gives us a good game. AC Milan, European powerhouse. Villarreal and Atletico, I believe they both qualify for Champions League, so it's not as though it's Barnet on a Saturday afternoon where we can smash them 10-0, or Watford or whatever behind closed doors. These were really, really difficult, hard games, and I think the problem we've got is because he was just playing around with like team selection, we felt as though we're fucking miles away from it. It was like the cohesion wasn't there. People didn't know what they were doing. They were not fit, which it is pre-season, and we have to forget that. But obviously in the heat of the moment, like we say, we were fuming, weren't we? Because it was just dreadful to watch. It was dreadful, and like I say, but again, it was against decent opposition, like I say. So, yesterday's game was completely different. But the pre-seasons, like I say, we did feel as though it was a bit shit, really. So
a bit weak, a bit weak, and I think that's it. That's literally it. It's the fact that we were watching them or talked about them as if they mattered on a bigger scale, as if we were aiming for something, but at the same time we weren't. It was more the frustration. Again, I think I'm going to repeat myself from last episode. It's more the frustration that it just seemed to carry on. The performance that we saw at the end of last season, it just seemed to sort of seep into the pre-season, and that's what made it even worse. And obviously, look, we're a bit dramatic as fans. That's what we are. Like, I don't care. Again, you hear these other Arsenal podcasts and media, and they seem calm, and you think, well, okay, well, tell me your reaction at that moment in time. Do you know what I mean? I want to hear that reaction. I don't want to hear it 2 days later when you've had time to think about it. Let's hear it right there and then. This is why, we called it Real Arsenal Talk, because these are actual feelings that people will go through before the match or after the match. Do you know what I mean? And in a week's time, it'll be forgotten about because it's the next thing that's coming on. So that's where we sort of come in. It's like, I want to hear that side of it. I know you're calm, and yes, we can be calm. We're realistic, and like I said, we could sort of move away from the overreaction of it, but not really, because we've seen it, and it's like, I don't want to see this again. Why are you showing me this again? That's the feeling, isn't it? It's like, why are you showing me this again? It's like watching a movie on repeat. I've seen it. Or an episode of Friends or something. It's like, I've seen it 100 million times. Why am I seeing this again? So I think that's where obviously it came out. But you're right, midweek it was more experimentation with the squad, and I like the fact that Nwaneri was playing, and Norgard obviously played as well and started the game. I thought he did really well, but the fact that Nwaneri started in that position that Odegaard usually starts in kind of made me happy, because obviously the contract has just been officially announced, even on the Arsenal website. So again, he is staying for 5 years, and the fact that he is playing, or he's made a kind of route into this team for himself, I think that's brilliant. And so that I was excited about, because like, all right, okay, these players aren't going to go to waste. These are actual genuine backups that we have now. And we've seen them come in and do their thing. Obviously, we're not talking about the whole team collectively, just that little three behind the forwards. I thought they did really well. Whereas, Gyökeres and Saka and stuff like that, Saka more than Gyökeres, because Gyökeres, that was his second game really, but Saka just, come on, man. Tell me some stuff. Tell me some stuff about Saka and like how you saw him in that match. Because
the Villarreal,
yeah.
Well, you know what I feel about him, and my opinion's not going to change. I think he is he hasn't got football intelligence, like we've said in the past. He's not a Perez. He's not a Bergkamp. He's all right. He's decent, but it's the shoot when I should pass and pass when I should shoot. And world-class players, you can't teach that to them. They know it. No. They know when to pass when someone's in a better position, and they know when to shoot when it's like you've got to have that killer instinct. So, yeah, it was. I don't know. I'm still not convinced. Maybe he's feeling the pressure with Darwin. I don't know. I really don't know. But we seem massively, massively one-sided, and it just seems something's got to change, and it did change slightly yesterday. I was quite impressed with it yesterday, but against Villarreal, again, it's early. It's in hindsight looking back, but at that moment on Wednesday night, I was fuming. I thought, what a load of shite he is. But like you say, it all changed on.
Yesterday's match, yeah. I mean, the sort of just adding a little bit to the Villarreal match, which we'll move past really quickly, by the way. But I just found it a bit, interesting that that it was only 2, maybe 3 players that were sort of were new to the team, whereas everyone else. There was everyone else had played together before, whereas, like I said, there was only two players that had just slotted in as brand new players in Norgard and Gyökeres. Everyone else had played football together. They played in the same team together at certain points last season. So that's what I found a little bit more like, well, why was it so far off? Do you know what I mean? Like, why was the performance so far off when literally, barring 2 players, the whole team has played together before, and that's what worried me. And the one player that was brand new in Norgard, he scored a goal, and again, I thought he had a very good match, to be honest. Considering he just slotted in, no drama, no issues, just boop straight in there. And that's the sort of player that we've been needing for a long time, is a player that just slots in there. Like Declan Rice, when we bought him, yes, he was 100 sort of million, but we didn't wait around to see that. He just came in, all right, bossed it first season, and then obviously the Euros and all that stuff, which came afterwards, which tired him out, if you will. But so that was a bit more on the worrying side for me. Is just the fact that these players have been in the same team together at some points last season, and again, I'm looking at ratings here, and Saka's on 5.9, like literally one of the worst performers of that match, if not the worst performer of that match, and that's including both teams, by the way. So and interestingly, their left back Cardona, he was the man of the match. Like, he was the highest rated player. So, what does that mean? It just means that Saka got shut the fuck down. And I'm hoping that during their pre-seasons and their trainings and stuff like that, I'm hoping that they do talk about football psychology and, like you said, a footballing brain. And something that they could hopefully teach, because unfortunately, like you said, Saka just doesn't. It doesn't seem like he's possessing that, because if he did, he'd be a lot more consistent in every single match. Throughout the season, he'll be a lot more consistent. Yes, obviously last season he was injured, so we didn't see his full potential. He started off very well, and we were like, oh, he could potentially break the assist record. And it's like, all right, but it's the 7th match, and then on the 10th match he got injured, so we didn't see any of that. So I'm not blaming him for last season, because obviously he got injured. That's fair enough. But it just, again, even when he was playing, it's like, unless he's getting me 20 goals, not goals and assists, goals a season, I can't really put him up to the heights of the Adebayors, for example. I know that's going to be blasphemous. I know people are going to shoot me down. I get it. But I'm hoping you get what I mean. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, with Adebayor, he was scary. Like, at his peak, he was scary up front, where you think, shit, that guy's going to score every time. Whereas I just don't feel like Saka has that. Like you said, he sort of shifts between this, what do I do? Do I pass or shoot? So yeah, that's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah. No, you're right. The only sort of silver lining I can see this season that could potentially happen is the fact is Gyökeres is a focal point. Now, Saka, as we've seen after the last couple of seasons, he does get like doubled up on, sometimes tripled up on. Now, if that's the case, then that's going to leave Gyökeres free. It's going to leave whoever else we get in the closing stages if we do. So that's the one silver lining that I see, really, is the fact is that Gyökeres is there, and it'll free up Saka and if they're all on Gyökeres, if they're all on Saka, then they'll free up Gyökeres and vice versa. So that's the only silver lining, because, like you say, he is getting man march out of the game. That's probably affecting him, but we'll have to see, because he has been very, very poor this pre-season. I know, like you say, he's just come back, but the jury's still out for me. And like you say, if he scores 20 goals, not 20 goals including 10 assists or whatever, it's got to be 20 goals and 10 assists, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make it out as always, because he's far from world class, because he's a bit inconsistent at times, isn't he? Like, you think he'll dribble with the ball and you think, go on son, and then it'll just like run out of play, or he'll get tackled and the move will break down when we're in like a great position, which happened yesterday. I don't know if you saw, was it Wednesday? I can't remember. A couple of occasions where it'd be Wednesday, where it'd be yesterday. He was through.
Where he took it to the byline and he didn't do much with it.
He pulled it back on his left foot and shot.
Very
tight.
It was too
angle.
close to the keeper. Yeah, you can't do that.
And other players were sort of in like really good positions. They might not have scored, but you just think, well, give it to someone else in a better position. You try to get through.
Football in brain. This is it. What you were saying. Football in brain.
100%.
So I think, look, maybe you're onto something there, and I'm glad that you actually brought it up, because it was going to be one of the questions that I had for later on in the pod. Like, tactically, how do you see some changes happening? And you've actually hit the nail right on the head there. And I think that's what, even last season we talked about the Odegaards and why hasn't he been so consistent, or as he hasn't played very well. And we said that, he's missing players. There's players missing from the squad in general. And unfortunately, because we were so tightly sort of...
Sorry, Lozic. Can you hear me? Because you've gone.
Yeah, sorry about that. 2 seconds, man. Just literally put that on mute for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Let me try that one more time. You can hear me okay though, right? Oh, Stevie's free. He's frozen.
You're back.
Yeah, good. You can hear me.
No.
Good.
You were.
Yep, I'm still here.
Go on, carry on.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Carry on.
You can't hear me? Oh. That's gone. Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Through the computer.
Oh, no way. So it's come to the... Okay.
Doesn't matter. Carry on.
I will mute you though, so... So I was saying about Saka and Odegaard, for example. They didn't have the players to support them throughout the matches last season. So I think that's why we saw them struggle a little bit. And again, when you have one point of failure and one side of failure, which was the right side in Saka and obviously in Odegaard, if they are not firing, then yes, it's going to seem like a very weak team. So I'm kind of hoping that with the addition of the players that we brought in this season, I'm hoping that that's going to be enough now to help Odegaard and to help Saka. Wait, again, like you said, they're going to double up on Saka, so that means Gyökeres is free, Havertz, Rice, Odegaard, they're going to be free. Someone doubles up on Gyökeres, that means Saka's going to be free, and so on. So again, that's what I want to see, and for me, that's the tactical changes that I want to see. And look, obviously, we wanted to see them during pre-season, but at the same time, I think I mentioned it at the last part of the pod before, where it's like, maybe Arteta's hiding some tactics. Maybe he's hiding something from us, and I don't know. Like, it seems like a conspiracy theory, but from what we saw on Wednesday to yesterday's match, it just seems like there could be something there. Again, I don't know how much truth there is behind it, but it's always good to hold something back, to have a few cards up your sleeve, because we got found out really, really quickly. And again, I think Newcastle were comfortable playing us during pre-season because they were like, well, I've seen them play before. I know what they're going to do. Tottenham were the same. Thomas Frank, he's not an idiot. So maybe it could have been, again, I'm just delving into realms of conspiracies here, but it could have been like, Arteta's like, well, Thomas Frank, he's a clever guy. So he's going to watch us very carefully here. So I'm going to put out a weaker side tactics rather than team, a weaker side in terms of tactics, and see how he responds to it. And obviously, we got beat by Tottenham. And again, Thomas Frank is not an idiot, so he's going to pick up on what you're putting out there. So yesterday's match could have been the difference that we saw. I mean, we won 3-0. It wasn't like a 2-1. It wasn't a 1-0. It was a 3-0. And all of the players that we brought in, the players that we brought in plus the existing good players that we have, they worked together and they managed to win the match. So
it was a great game.
Yeah.
It was. I missed the first half because I thought it was on. I thought it started at 6. I looked at Sky Sports. It said 1800. So I timed it perfectly. Got my takeaway. Picked the kids up. Blah blah blah. And turned it on at 5 to 6. And it was like, oh, and Gyökeres has scored. I'm like, looked at my
35th minute.
Yeah, I looked at my daughter and I was like, have we gone back in time or forward in time or something? I was like, really? She was like, oh my God, you've missed it. And I thought I'd missed the whole game. And then they came out, obviously, they were coming down the tunnel. And I was like, oh my God. So, and then obviously then they showed you the Gyökeres goal, blah, blah, blah. But I must admit, what I saw the first sort of 15 minutes of the second half, I was really impressed. I didn't see obviously because Martinelli wasn't on. He come off, didn't he? I think at half time.
Yeah, I think. In the first half, I thought Martinelli had a very good game.
Yeah.
Again, just the only problem is just leaning back to that head down byline, and that's the problem. But again, he made some switch ups yesterday. There was a chance for Saka that he could have played him in, and Saka put his hands up. It was like the 7th minute. So within the first 10 minutes, we had 3 or 4 chances to score. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was. I thought it was a very good start.
It was. There was sort of what's the word? There was like I know obviously after Wednesday night they had something to prove, and it seems as though they were at it from the off, weren't they? It was like really sort of intense, and they were going forward. It wasn't as fanning around at the back, sideways, backwards. They were actually, going forward. They were trying to, and obviously then Gyökeres was going into the channels and things like that, and he was getting found, and he was running with the ball, and there was some good moments, and obviously the goals were great, and then I thought Zubimendi, we'll talk about him at some point, but
just bring him up because he really was, and I think he was the difference in that style of play of moving the ball forward and not side to side. And I think just some of the direct passes that he put through.
He's not as. How can I put it? Him and Partey, completely different styles. What I like about I'll tell you what I liked about Partey was he was quite strong, and his passing was immaculate. Don't get me wrong, he saw straight passes, ball passes, air passes. His passing was immaculate, but what let him down was if you had a few players around him, I sometimes think he got a bit caught out. Whereas Zubimendi, he's not as good at that, but he can still pass it, but he does everything so neat and tidy. Nothing flash, far from flash, but he's just he's technically very good. And I said to you in one of the messages, like a little wizard, because
maestro.
He doesn't. Nothing seems to go wrong. He caresses the ball. I was watching some of his passing, and I was like, so nice, so neat, tidy, just excellent for what we need. The balls didn't go astray, and I was eulogizing over him, if that's the correct word.
So he's the type of player that sort of he knows where to lay off the ball and then make the run. So first touch, he's like, right, I'm going to put it here and I'm going to run onto it. So again, that's a smart player, isn't it? That's the type of player that you think he's got football in brain, because not only has he taken the touch to control the ball, but he's already laid it off for the second touch to be ready. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's what I saw a lot of yesterday, and I thought just absolutely brilliant. It kind of reminded me of Cazorla.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's obviously Cazorla's fantastic little dribbler, take players on and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
I do know what you mean. He's small, diminutive type of player, but he does like a tackle as well. Like he can read the ball where it's going and put his foot in at the right time. He was like a
Cazorla mixed in with a bit of Kante
or Jack Wilshere, maybe. Cazorla, Jack.
I know. I know. I'll be honest. I never rated Jack Wilshere to that level. Obviously, academy player and all that stuff, but I never rated him to that level.
I was watching a few clips of him actually earlier today. It was like Jack Wilshere in his early days, and he was a good player. I know he was.
No, absolutely. I just don't think we can't sort of look at a player based on what he could have been. I'm just saying, like, from what we saw, it's like, you were good, but you had your issues. So, but fair enough. That's a fair point, because Wilshere was strong, and like you said, the stocky build. So no one was going to push Wilshere off the ball unless they snapped his knees, which is fair enough. He did that himself anyway. So I thought Zubimendi, from yesterday's match, I think he's sort of up to speed with how Arteta wants us to play, and the fact that obviously he is Spanish and they've got that sort of. I'm not saying that Arteta doesn't communicate well in English. That's not what I mean. It's just maybe there's something about the Spanish speakers that he's brought around him to, so he's a bit more comfortable and he can really lay it off to like the instructions and so on. But yeah, so very good player, very good performance from him.
And the Yock.
Say Gyökeres, yeah, absolutely. That was again a very good cross, very good header of the ball, just outside the 6-yard box. So yeah. I thought again, very good goal. And there was people saying like, I didn't know Gyökeres could score headers and stuff.
Yeah, that was the rumor, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure just looking at him, you think you just need to tell him to jump up and then direct it in, right? Like that's all he needs to do, literally. He's big enough to do that. Doesn't even have to jump. Yeah. So, yeah, good goal, and hopefully more of those. Hopefully we can get more corners in like we did the season beforehand, or just
not too many
before everyone got injured. I want to be referred to as Stoke FC again, because we've scored that many goals from corners, and I love it, and I wouldn't care less, to be honest with you. But obviously we need the outfield goals as well, please. Yeah, we definitely need those.
I think we missed those. I do think that, in all fairness, Atletico did play to our strengths in a way, because they did give us the high press.
Yeah,
they didn't do the low press, which a lot of teams are going to do. So they did play to our strengths, which made us look better. So the time will tell. But it was. We're going in the right direction, I think, after yesterday.
It was a kind of performance from Athletic that kind of, it's reminiscent of the, like you said, the top 4 or the top 6 in the Premier League, where it's like a bit more open and they're trying to catch you on the breaks and stuff like that, which is fair enough. But we had Saliba and Gabriel, and funnily enough, Saliba was above a 7 in terms of ratings in comparison to his 5.9 in the Villarreal match. So again, Gabriel came back in and very, very, very strong. He's just, both of them together. Like I know people obviously will rate Saliba more, but the last season or so, I've kind of switched to Gabriel. Like I feel like Gabriel is the guy, and I could see him as a captain as well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
For me, if you had to toss up a captain, it would be between Gabriel and Odegaard and Declan Rice. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I have no doubt that Zubimendi, if he joined us when he was 22, by the age that he is now, I guarantee he would have been captain as well, because they've got this quality about them where they sort of demand it, and they are very hard-working players. Like, do you remember Francesco Totti from Roma? Right?
Yeah.
He was Roma, like, that's it. You mentioned Roma, Totti comes along with it. He was captain, and everyone respected him because he put everything behind that team. And I feel like Gabriel can do that, and Declan Rice can potentially do that
Rice
as well.
Kind of would, because he's the driving force, isn't he? You understand that Gabriel's a leader at the back. He's obviously more outspoken than Saliba, so that's why you kind of put him into that bracket of a leader, captain kind of thing. But Rice, because he's up and down, front and back, that's the Totti role, what you're alluding to, I think. And I think, yes, if Rice became captain, I think he would elevate him to greater things. I think it's probably holding him back slightly, and this is where Arteta needs to get it right. I know he probably won't want to change Odegaard, but I think there's got to be sort of a mutual agreement somewhere down the line that, come on, boss, we think that, I don't think they will, but I personally think that there should be someone that steps in and says, look, I think now it's time for Rice or Gabriel to become club captain. Personally, that's me, and I think a lot of people do think that as well.
Yeah, and again, it's a good. The people who want that have very good justification and very good reasoning behind it, which is, I can't argue with it. However, the flip side of that is, if you're going to remove Odegaard as your captain, for example, to make another member of your team a captain, I think that would 100% play a negative role in how potentially Odegaard or anyone closely related to him who are close friends and so on like that, like a Havertz or a Saka or whatever, then they could start having issues with it. For example, I'm not saying they will. I know they're going to be professionals. That's not an issue. But you run the risk of adding this negativity to the team, where it's like, okay, well, you've just removed him as a captain, but he's still playing for you. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, I just feel like it's. I know. It's at the end of the day, it's business as such. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Arteta should fanny out or anything like that, but I just. If you're going to do that, then it has to be at the time when you kind of hearing rumours that Odegaard wants to leave. Do you know what I mean?
Or losing, or Odegaard actually sort of insinuates it himself that we've all had to get together, etc. If he does that, then I don't think it'll impact. I think it'll be like a mutual agreement between the team as such. So who knows?
That's fair. That would be, I mean, obviously that would be the perfect scenario of how it happens. But again, how real that is, I don't know. I can't sit here and be like, oh, definitely not. Odegaard's going to leave, and he'll tell him to fuck off or whatever. No, I don't know that. Like you said, he could be the guy who's like, look, do you know what? I love this team. I want this team to win. And if Rice or Gabriel are going to be the better leaders on the pitch, who are more vocal, then yeah, fair enough.
Who was the captain before Odegaard? It was Xhaka, wasn't it?
It was Xhaka, yeah.
Who was it before Xhaka? Can you remember? I'm going to ask you. I'm going to really test you now.
Koscielny, I think.
Koscielny, yeah. So before that?
Before Koscielny? It was... Ramsey? No.
Fabregas?
Fabregas? But no, before Koscielny, like, it was someone else.
I'm just trying to, think of all of our captains in the past and how good and how vocal have been. And as much as you don't have to be vocal to be a captain, you've got to be a leader, and you've got to be respected, and your other teammates have to look up to you. And I think Odegaard, unfortunately, doesn't have that. And I think if Rice did it, and if he took that, or Gabriel did, I think that would be the ice. Don't get me wrong, I think that we come up with all sorts of different excuses and say, oh, we needed a striker, then that's like the final piece of the jigsaw. I potentially do think that could be a defining moment to switch the captaincy. If we're kind of languishing 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I know what you mean. It could be a change that really shakes up the team. And just to run through some of the captains for you, by the way. Yeah. And again, some of these are literally for one season, so that's why probably we didn't think of them, because that's not what we're talking about here. So Odegaard, obviously currently 2022, 2025, so current 3 years, brilliant. Before that, we had Lacazette and Aubameyang. Aubameyang for 2 years, 1921, and then Lacazette 21-22. So again, I think that was more seniority rather than. Yeah, so again, because Saka was just starting up at that point, so Saka wasn't even around.
Why would you give like Lacazette the captain's armband?
Because we had no one else. I know. Who else was going to take the captain's armband at that point? That was this 21-22. That was the season where we were just about to make a good turn, and obviously that was the last season where we were just very, very poor. Like with Lacazette, we remember Lacazette's last season for us. It just wasn't good. Yeah. So it was more seniority rather than deserved. Yeah, but before that, we had Xhaka. It says 19-19. Was it? Did he only have it for? Did he only have it for one season or half a season?
Is that when he sort of spiced me out?
Yeah, that's right. So he became captain at the beginning of the season. I think maybe 10, 11 matches in, that's when he started going crazy. So, okay, maybe we shouldn't have included Xhaka in that.
Yeah.
Koscielny, he was there for 2 years, 17-19. Mertesacker, Arteta was 14-16.
Yeah.
Arteta and Vermaelen before that. Van Persie. And then Fabregas for 3 years. Gallas, Henry, Vieira. Tony Adams, 88 till 2002, by the way.
So you
not many vocals. No. If you think about it, like Adams, Vieira, and Henry. Yes,
I think that's the respect.
Vocal players.
It's the respect that they're getting as players, not regards to the fact that they're vocal or whatever. Because I don't think Vieira. Well, Vieira might have been vocal. He did shout a lot. But he did. He took games
for
by
3 years.
The scruff of the
3 years, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Games by the scruff of the neck, and that's how I see captains. Roy Keane's, Steven Gerrard.
That's why I mentioned Totti. That's why I mentioned Gerrard. Another perfect example. Yeah, absolutely.
Hence why I think that it could be a shift in mentality for us if we did that. Because Odegaard, as much as I like him as a nice guy, he's not a winner. He's a nice guy. He hasn't got that.
He's like a baby face, isn't he? He's like a baby face in wrestling, where it's like you're just too nice. Everyone wants to cheer for you, but you're not giving me anything.
You want someone with a bit of steel about them. I think Roy Keane's. I know you say that, but it's winning mentality. Roy Keane says it. That's you've got to have that, and I don't think Odegaard has.
Believe it. Yeah, he's got to believe it. Like the players have got to believe it themselves, and not just like we'll just maybe win this match. Like, no, you need to believe that you're going to win it.
You don't want your captain giving you shit in the half time or full time. So you do everything for that. The captain, if he's asking you to do something, make sure you do it. None of this fanning around or half-heartedly going in for a challenge like Havertz used to do last season. Don't get me started. But Potentially, it could be a game changer. I don't think Arteta will do it. I think he's too much of a fan. He was the one upset the apple cart. I think he thinks of like, it's the essence that we've got throughout the team. It's a nice vibe, etc., etc. Nice vibes don't win your premierships, don't win your Champions Leagues.
Vibes don't win leagues, I'm afraid.
No,
it's
they don't.
performances. So yeah, hey, you could be onto something. For people out there listening, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Do you think a captaincy change is worth it at the beginning of the season or mid-season, depending on where we are? Let us know. Let us know what you guys think. I mean, that is a fair point of view, to be honest. Like, it could be the last thing that we need, and maybe we haven't reached it because of Arteta's reluctance to upset the group.
Yeah.
Which, again, if you don't upset the group, then you're not going to win shit. Look at Fergie. That guy fell out with one of his best players just to be like, I am your boss, mate. You will do what I say. And there you go. And how many leagues did they win? How many trophies did they win in his tenure? So you got to have something about you, I'm afraid. And being too nice and being too precise, which I didn't mean to rhyme that, by the way. That's not going to win, because one error that happens, and we saw it last season, one thing that just sort of wasn't meant to be there, one hair out of place. Yes, that was an Arteta joke. One hair out of place. That's it. We lost momentum. We couldn't do shit. So again, yeah, it could be something that could change. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Let us know what you think out there.
I was just looking at some great, obviously world class captains over the years.
Go on, hit me with some. Paolo Maldini.
Yes.
My boy Maldini, absolutely.
Deschamps.
Zidane. Deschamps, yeah.
Vincent Kompany.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I mean, he was a captain for a long time.
Vieira,
yeah, he was vocal.
Bobby Moore, Carlos Puyol.
Another perfect example. That guy gave everything for Barcelona.
Yeah, obviously John Terry. But anyway, yeah. So that's me personally I think that's something that, if it's not working this season, whether Arteta stays or goes, that could be the final chance that he gets to think, right, let's just switch it up. But he's probably never thought about that. Whether he has, I don't know. But he's so stubborn. He's not gonna change it, is he?
Surely he's that thought has crossed his mind, or someone around his staff has said, "Look, mate, what about this as an idea?" But
what potentially could bring about it sometimes in adversity. So, say if Odegaard got injured like he did last season, I don't know who was captain. I think it was
Saka for a while.
So that to me is wrong. I know Gabriel was sort of acting, wasn't he, as second vice captain or something, and was Rice or not? Was it too soon for Rice?
No, it was too soon for Rice. Yeah, I think it was. I don't think Rice held it last season at all.
It was Saka.
No, wait. Sorry, didn't Rice have it when he got that red card?
Against Brighton.
When he got kicked and he got the red card. I'm sure he was captain.
I don't know. Maybe, like you say, if Odegaard becomes. If he gets injured and he's out for a month or something like that, and then it could be a perfect opportunity for him to say, look, Rice, we all agree, Rice. But if Saka gets it, he's not a captain, is he? This is the thing, he's not a captain. You give it to Gabriel or Rice. That's end of.
It's like making Vinicius Junior your captain, to be honest. in terms of they barely have the footballing brain to be excellent at what they do. Don't add this shit to them. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Gabriel or Rice should be second in command. And if Arteta gets sacked or leaves before the end of the season, then I think that's the perfect opportunity to make a captain change for them.
Definitely.
If it doesn't happen then it just won't until Odegaard leaves or something happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tricky one actually. That is definitely a tricky situation for Arteta if he ever sort of has to make that decision, because you're going to upset one or the other anyway. But obviously, if you're taking something from someone who already has it and giving it to someone else, then that's a big problem. So I think I don't want the group to be upset. Go on.
Yeah, no, was Rice captain at West Ham?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was captain, I think, for 2 years or 2 seasons at West Ham, or maybe 3. Can't remember. So again, he has. I just feel like he's a better fit, in he's a bit more finicky, right? That's a word I'm going to use.
Finicky.
When it comes to being on the pitch, and he wants the things. Obviously, he needs people to be in the right places, like Martinelli. How many times have you seen him shout at Martinelli, make the run, or Trossard, or whatever it is? So yeah, for me, that's the guy I would choose. But
You've got to have some sort of maturity about you, haven't you? And I think Rice is at that level now where he's maturing. So I don't know whether maybe Arteta's waiting just to sort of see it in him, but yeah, you've got to. It's having the maturity for people to respect you, as well as not being too big for your boots, where you're trying to boss them around. It's getting that balance right, and I think Rice will eventually become our captain, but it might be too late for Arteta. I don't know.
Yeah. It all depends on obviously how the next season goes. Really, if we win, then chances are that nothing's going to change. Really, just add a couple more players or to replace players on the way out. But it's difficult. That's probably the right way of describing it. It is a difficult decision to make for anyone, really. Like even from if we were tasked to make that decision, me and you, for example, it'll be difficult because you have to weigh up everything. And Odegaard has some good graces about him.
I don't know if you can see that. I just what we were talking about. Can you read that?
Double marked, leaving a certain player wide open. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So Saka's there. 2 players on Gyökeres, Saka free.
Yeah, it's right there, and it was evident, to be honest. But the problem, the problem for the other teams are that it doesn't matter which one you're doubling up on because we have enough good players to make the other side work. Do you know what I mean? Apart from the left side, obviously, because we were allergic to playing down the left. If we get that sorted, or get one player to be added in there, like a Madueke or something like that, just to try him out against Man United.
I thought he did all right, Madueke, to be fair.
Yeah. I don't think he's played badly for us every time he's made an appearance. I don't think he's played badly.
Yeah.
It's more of a coherent sort of team that he stepped into. From Chelsea, they had their own issues and whatnot, and excessive players. But here, it's like he's already slotted in. It's like, right, okay, well, this is my place now, so let's carve out a little path into either left or right. So
I think he does things that you'd expect a winger to do. Really, just nothing flash, but
run at defenders.
Yeah, run at defenders, and look like you're kind of in control. Yeah. But he's got a left foot as well. Where's Martinelli? Because he hasn't got a left foot, head down. And
he has
back,
to cut
back and lay it back, wide, and it's evident, isn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong. Did you watch the Community Shield today?
Yeah, I watched the first half, and that's it, really.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a very good match. What I saw of Eze, I mean, yes, he is good, but what I saw of him, he's very strong on the ball, and he rarely gives it away. But another player I really like, but I can't see us buying him because we've stocked in that area. But Adam Wharton. Technically, he's like a left-footed Zidane. I know it's quite a big praise for someone like that, but
that's a massive praise.
What a quality player he is. I mean, I don't think he'd fit into our team. We've got Rice who goes up and down.
We've got Rice there.
I'd have him instead of Odegaard though.
Shit.
Mate.
Are you trying to get us fucking some
honest.
bad comments in the
don't care
on YouTube?
Don't care what a player he is.
Wow.
He is.
Hey, there you go. There's a statement for you right there, peeps.
Seriously, just have a look at some of his. He set Sarr up for one of the goals, I think, or the penalty. I can't remember which one it was. But his vision, his control is so kind of. It is a Zidane-esque type. The way he's kind of lackadaisical. He doesn't look like he's trying. If you know what I mean. That type of
gliding. I think you used that word to describe another player. Gliding.
Beautiful left foot. Whether he gets a decent move. I know a few big teams were interested in him. I don't know who it was.
Yeah. I thought Man United were going to go in for him, to be honest, but apparently they didn't.
But yeah, Eze, again, like I say, I think he'd be absolutely perfect for us. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I think so. But he's not a left winger, so
he plays on the left though, and he played left today. I know he's not a left winger, but because he floats all over the place, that's the issue.
He's a free roamer, which is good because that kind of overloads the forward areas really. Because if he's floating in, then that means that probably Rice, Odegaard, and Saka and Gyökeres, like they're going to be in the box, ready for a cross or ready to take a shot. So, look, this is what we've been missing last season. This was clearly evident, and every single match that we drew, especially during the later half of the season, it was evident that we just needed some sort of threat, and shooting or trying to shoot at a perfect moment outside the box is not a threat. Because okay, yes, you'll have maybe 3 goals, 4 goals in a season out of that, but it's like, how many shots did you take? And how many times are you going to do it? The return is not enough. So that's what we've been missing. And again, we needed more options to score rather than just pass the ball to Saka and hope him and Odegaard have a nice little link up and maybe Havertz jumps in there. We just needed the options, and this is why it was important that this transfer window, it had to be concentrated or focused on squad building. And for these exact scenarios, like you said, with Villarreal, yes, we lost, but we saw 3 different midfielders, and again, it was a 3-2. It wasn't exactly like a hammering or anything like that. We were comfortable enough to actually, potentially even win that match. Obviously, with a bit more training for them particular players together, I think I think it's a good sort of B team, if you will. I know it wasn't really a B team because we did have, obviously, we had some important players, but the Kiviors played, the Norgards and Nwaneris played. So yeah, and Marino as well. So these were backup players. These were the players that we were supposed to have as backups last season.
But here they are. But they played, the first 11. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's whether they stay. There's Jesus to come back, which you forget about. He can play both sides. You've got Trossard still to come back on. So the squad the squad depth is really good, but I think we need. Trossard, don't get me wrong, I do like him as a player. Him and Martinelli, if they were on the bench, brilliant. But I do think we need an upgrade on them, whether that's a Lookman, whether that's an Eze, or whoever, but we do need someone an upgrade. And if we do get that, I do think we are pretty set, personally. I mean, what do you think of Mascara? I thought Mascara had a great game. Huggy Bear?
I don't think I saw him, to be honest. I don't think I saw that far into the match, to be fair.
Right, yeah.
So, but again, from reading what I've, from his performances, I think, again, another good young defender who's coming in.
He's a better backup, unfortunately, than our mate Jacob.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's not a problem for me. The thing is, it's not like him or Kivior. They're both there. You know what I mean? They're both decent backups.
And he looks like Huggy Bear.
And it looks like a Huggy Bear. Okay.
Do you remember that person?
No.
Starsky and Hutch, probably way before your time. And
that was in the 70s.
Oh,
that wasn't
it? Just look him up. It's pretty good. But I think it's a nice backup. I do think Jacob's on his way. Personally, I think we're going to get some money for him. I think Zinni's probably on his way, and I think Nelson's on his way. I think fucking Vieira's on his way. He needs to be on his way to give him away. Who else could be on the way? Lokonga's probably going to be on the way.
Oh yeah, sorry, I see what you're saying. By the way, yeah, I see what you're saying. Just had to search him. Yeah, the pimp, right? Is the pimp?
Huggy Bear,
okay. Huggy Bear. Okay.
But,
go on.
If we can get, I think we get 100 million for all them 5 players.
Yeah.
If we get 100 million for them, and then we just go and splash it on Eze or Rodrigo, we could get effectively another 2 players, like proper players.
I think honestly, the pursuit of Rodrigo, if it was real, I think we should have really taken that to the very end, because I think he's a very good player, and he just adds that mysterious factor, when Martinelli first came on, when he first came into the team. Again, he was a mysterious factor. It's like, what's this guy going to do? What's this kid going to do? Oh, you can run. Yeah. Oh, you can dribble.
Why is he running with his head down? What is he going to do next?
That was afterwards. I don't know what happened there. He sort of went back. Instead of evolving, he devolved. So, but again, it's that mysterious factor. And if we can use that for one season and win the league and another cup, then yeah, it's well worth the money. But it just needs to be a bit more balanced, the left and right sides, especially in the forward area. Only in the forward area, really, because the rest of the squad, I think, is pretty nicely balanced out. But just need that exciting player for the left. And then people can, if it's a Rodrigo, guaranteed defenders are going to start doubling up on Rodrigo. And then it's like, well, who's going to double up on Saka? Well, who's going to double up on Gyökeres? No one. There's no one there. Everyone's free. So, again, it's all about overwhelming the defence. And I think one more player in that left side is needed to complete that sort of... that trio at the front.
Yeah, I would be 100% excited if we could sign just someone different. So I'm going to say Rodrigo, Eze, or Lookman, or Leao. If we get one or 2 of those, we're not going to get 2, but if we got one of those, I'd be massive. I mean, I know I'm happy about Gyökeres, but if we just are obviously predominantly way too right-sided, and it's evident. And I don't think any of the players that we've currently got, I don't think any of the players that we've currently got, like the Dowmans and the Nwanieris, can do that. I don't think they can switch. I think they're predominantly right-sided. So we've got 5 players on that side.
Potentially Madueke. We can go on to the left.
He can, but he's never scored. He scored, is it 6 or 7 goals last season, all from the right.
Yeah.
And he's never scored from the left. So, I mean, I know it's all going to change, and it might just change for him. But if it stuck with what we've got now, would you be happy? If we kept with no additions, just got rid of some? If we got rid of some and didn't add any more, how would you feel?
No, if we got rid of some and we didn't add another person, then yeah, I wouldn't be too happy about that. But I think we've got enough. I think we've got enough there to sort of, again, balance the squad for the whole season
to win the league.
Just win the league. I have to say, I need to see that extra left-sided player. I'm afraid, sir, you got to show me that left-sided player.
Show me the money.
I'm not committing to anything until I see that left-sided player. Let me talk to the wife, basically. That excuse.
Yeah. Show me your balls. No, I need to speak to the wife.
Let me speak to the wife first. Yeah. So you want to buy this? No, let me speak to the wife first. I think that's where I'm at right now. With when people ask that question, it's like, let me consult a higher power. Let me see what's going on.
See that fence over there? Let's go and sit on it with the wife.
So yeah, I think that's where I'm at, sort of thing. If we don't get rid of players and we go forward, I think we've got a good chance, to be honest. I think we just need.
I think we've got
time. There's still enough time.
I think we've got enough to get the top 4 with what we've currently added, and I don't think we certainly haven't got enough to win the league. Yet.
Probably just have enough for second.
That's not good enough, man, is it? If we want to win the league, we all know we need that left side added to.
I know.
So
I know. I can't even. I'm happy with the players that we bought and the fact that we bought players and they were the right players that we needed. I'm more than happy about that. However, just to make me happier, I think one left-sided player needs to come in, to be honest, and none of this like, he's young, so he'll potentially get good next season.
Do you know what? No. When we used to go into games last season, I was never confident that we were going to smash any team and beat them. No. I was always thinking of, we might get a draw, we might get a win. If we got a left-sided player of that ilk that we're talking about, I think I would go into most games thinking, we can win this game. I'd be confident. Yeah. At this moment in time, I'm thinking, yes, we probably got a 60-70% chance of winning most games, but I want 80-90% chance.
Yeah.
And that left-sided player would, I think, potentially provide that. So until then we're going to be Negatrons.
No, well, we're trying not to be, but unfortunately we just react to whatever's laid out in front of us. So, look, season starts next week against Man United. We're at Old Trafford. Do you want to do some predictions, or we'll do it right at the end? Well, actually, before we do predictions, hold up. Ooh, hey-o. Personally, I don't have much to add to the matches because, again, I was very happy that we won yesterday. Very happy with the performance that we put in from all of our players that came on, even the substitutes. I was very happy with that, and I'm just hoping that we carry on that sort of momentum for next week against Man United.
What team do you want to see? That obviously we're talking about predictions, but are you sort of happy with our current starting 11, or would you do any changes that you want? So obviously Martinelli and I think the left side personally I think the right side, the midfield, take care of itself. Yeah. The defence does to a degree, but the left back and left wing, are you happy? Who would you want to start?
Well, left back, personally, I'd probably put in Lewis Skelly. Against Man United, and left forward, I think I'll probably start with Martinelli. The only reason I say that, nothing against Trossard, obviously he's very good, we know he can put in a shift. I just feel like with Martinelli, I want to see more of him, Saka and Gyökeres, you know what I mean, playing that forward line, because that's the only way that, if he's playing with them too and he's still not performing to where we need him to be, then unfortunately it's a problem with Martinelli. It seems that way anyway, but let's just see what happens, at least for the first few matches when he is playing against with these guys. But that's who I want to see for sure. I think Martinelli, for me, should start.
Do you think
unless we bring someone else in.
Yeah.
But then again, if we bring someone else in, they probably won't be ready for next week.
No, so. I'm not sure. I get what you're saying about Martinelli, but I think he's had enough chances in the pre-season games to prove that he's not going to do it this year. Now, Arteta needs to look at that and think, is he still ahead of Schicker this year, or is he just giving us something that the other players that we've got doesn't like? Because he is, don't get me wrong, he tracks back. He's very quick. But is he a starter, or would you start Madueke and then have Martinelli more as a weapon later on in the game? With your left back, Lewis Skelly, probably, because Calafiori is a bit slow, but saying that, Calafiori gives more balance, I think, to the left, because Skelly does tend to go inside. So it's a tricky one, really. I'm not sure.
I think with Skelly, with Calafiori, I think maybe this match is a little bit too early
Possibly.
for him to do a full 90 or even start it. So I'm happy with him sitting on the bench. I like him as a defender, and I think he can offer something like a wow factor in the team with his runs. But first match of the season, I'm not saying playing it safe. Definitely not. Just go in there. If you feel like you can exploit something, just go in there and exploit that shit from Man United. But whereas with Martinelli and Madueke, I think because Martinelli knows the system a little bit more and is used to playing within that team. Obviously, Gyökeres is going to be different. Zubameni is going to be different. But that's why I'll probably start with him, because, again, I don't want to leave anything. Like, for example, Madueke just feels a bit more experimental on the left-hand side if we start him on the first match of the season. And if it doesn't go well, and if he has a very, very bad performance, I don't want to see that player drop his head for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? I don't want to see his confidence wane, and then December or January rolls around, it's like, oh, I can score goals. And I was like, dude, where the hell were you a few months ago? So that's why I feel like Martinelli, he's played enough, and I'm hoping he knows himself and how he plays. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any sense, like, as in, he knows what he can and can't do, sort of thing. And again, if it seems like he can't gel together with Gyökeres and Saka and sort of like a better midfield trio behind him, then yeah, that's when you start making changes. But I just don't feel like it's time for experiments right in the first match of the season. See how Martinelli gets on, and then if he's not performing, then yeah, 100% next match you start Madueke.
What do you think of Skelly, though? I mean, as much as I do rate him, I am a bit concerned about him. Do you know what I mean? Or not? Like, his immaturity sometimes gets the better of him, and he's very strong. Don't get me wrong, he's a strong guy, but he becomes a bit of a focal point for the opposition because he might have a bit of an error in him, and he does like to die on the ball, and certain teams, certain managers might focus on that. Like our left side a few years ago was with Zinchenko, because he was slow. The focus on that left side of ours, and it was kind of evident that we were struggling in that department. Skelly, as good as he is going forward, he is a bit suspect going back, but I think our complete left side is a concern to me. I don't know. I think I'd have Mosquera at left back personally, but I don't know.
I wouldn't say concerning, because I think, again, we have enough players to sort of fill in those roles if Skelly's making his runs forward. But it is a bit sort of like, yeah, look, we know what you need to do. It looks like they're going to wait for the first match of the season to sort of make a decision whether they need to make a change or not, or whether they need to make an addition or not. I don't personally think it's concerning. I just feel like, it does need attention rather than, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? It's sort of not to the extreme of being concerned, because we have players, or good players, for the left-hand side, but it's just a bit more attention needs to be added to the left, i.e. the left forward role.
Do you think he might start Havertz?
No, I think he'll start with Gyökeres. I think so.
Because Gyökeres could, obviously, sorry to interrupt. If say for instance we're getting beat, and Martinelli's on Gyökeres and Saka, what he could do is he could put Gyökeres on the left and Havertz through the middle, because that's what potentially he could do, because I know Gyökeres does like floating out to either side, doesn't he? So potentially, but I mean, he was a good goal by Havertz, by the way.
It was nice run, and again, you say good goal, but it kind of felt like watching Bambi on ice, wasn't it? Really, by the end, it's like, dude, are you going to score this or what? Like,
but last
why
season,
do you keep me guessing?
he would have fell over, wouldn't he?
Yes,
he'd have
he
gone
would
down
have,
for a penalty, and he would have been, for fuck's sake, stand up. So
score the goal. Yeah,
it was a
exactly.
night. He did show strength. He was quite quick, and I was really impressed with that finish. And I thought, why do you do that on a regular basis? But it's a bit of competition for him now, isn't it? So he might, he might pull his fingers out. So it's a good alternative. I think to have, but I think you're right. I think he will start with the Yock.
Yeah, I think he'll start with the Yock and Havertz again. Very good sub to come on for either for Gyökeres or, like you said, maybe for a Martinelli, potentially for a Rice. Who knows? Who knows who's going to play well? Obviously, until next week, we just won't know. But yeah, I'm excited, to be honest. I think after yesterday's game, I'm a bit excited just to see how we fare against a Premier League opposition in the league.
Do you think Šeško will play? I think he's too soon for him.
Okay, if I was the manager of Man United, I wouldn't play him because it's too soon, right? But because Amorim will probably have a point to prove, and the fact that Gyökeres is playing against him, I think he probably will start Šeško, and just out of spite, really. I think he's going to pick a player out of spite, which is fair. Like, again, that's fine. If it works out for him, then we look like idiots. If it doesn't work out for him, he looks like the idiot. So.
Yeah, you might have a point there. I'm not sure whether he'll be actually match fixed. I don't think he's played any pre-season games.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah,
he might not. I think he might get 10-15 minutes if they're desperate. But I can't see him playing. But who knows?
Like I said, personally, I'd be very surprised if he was even on the bench for that match. But at the same time, because of using Man United logic, I think he will start with Šeško. Full 90 minutes. Yeah. Doesn't matter if he's playing good or not. Full 90 minutes, that's it, mate. You are on now. So, okay, look.
Predictions?
I think we've. I was going to say we've talked enough about what could potentially happen through the transfer window and blah blah blah. The week has arrived, let's do it. Go on, hit me with some predictions.
1-1.
Damn, that's crazy. At Old Trafford, I think we're going to win 2-0. I think we probably have enough to overwhelm them next week at Old Trafford. I think we'll sort of catch them by surprise, and I think we'll probably catch them sleeping a little bit. That's my prediction.
Okay,
2-0. That's what I'm going with. It's happening.
I'm
not going to tell you goal scorers. Because who cares, right? It's one thing I don't give a shit about. I don't care if Raya scores, mate.
Absolutely, mate. Arteta.
Don't care. If Arteta puts on a jersey and he's registered as a player and he scores, I'm happy with that. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter to me.
As long as we win. No, I just think it might be a bit tricky because it's a new dawn for them. It's like a fresh season. They can't be any worse. They've got obviously all these new signings, etc., etc. I know they're all individuals, but on the day they are good players. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, I hope you're right. I hope it is a 2-0, but I just think it's going to be a bit tricky. If we score first, I think there might be a chance, but if they score first, I think that's when it's potentially just going to be a draw.
That would be actually very interesting. Even though I don't want them to score first or at all, if they do score first, that's why it'll be interesting because then we'll see how we react to it. Yeah. If it's going to be the same reaction as last season, then it's like, okay, maybe we should score first.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
but so look, especially right now, especially for the first 3 games of the season, which I don't really count anyway. I'll be honest, I don't really count them because I feel like that's the sort of the ending of the pre-season. You know what I mean? Wrapping up, because that's when players start coming to full fitness. So if it's something that changes after the first 3 games, where you can clearly see a change in tactics and how we play, then I think we'll have a very good chance. If after the 3rd game we are seeing the same shit that we've seen.
I think you're right. And I know, and what pisses you off, I was just looking there, after 3 games, it's a fucking international break. Yeah. That ruins it again for everyone. So we could win the first 3 games, get some momentum. Then it's a 2-week break. And then we have, I think the 3rd game's Liverpool, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Let me just quickly check because I had it up.
It's Man U away, Leeds at home, Liverpool away, and then we come back to Forest at home, don't we?
Yeah, Forest at home. Yeah, literally a couple of weeks later.
Yeah. So
yeah. Oh wow, that's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Right, well, should be an interesting season, and great. Thank you, Premier League, for all of that. So basically, up until near my birthday, 28th of September, mine's 29th, so we have literally some of the hardest games in the league. Man U, Liverpool, City, and Newcastle.
Yeah.
And I'm not even naming the rest because Nottingham are going to be tricky. Leeds, they're just bastards anyway.
Dirty Leeds.
Yeah, so the bastards anyway. So again, it's going to be interesting.
But,
and I think if we sorry, Stevie, if we come out of all of this by the time we hit, what is it? By the time we hit October, beginning of October, if we come out of this and we have how many points? So how many games? That 1,
18.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, out of 18 points, if we come out of that with like 15 points,
ooh, it's optimistic.
well,
That's very optimistic.
I'm just saying that. Yeah, but you're saying optimistic though. But like, what else are we aiming for? What the hell are we aiming for here? Like, are we aiming for what? 6 points? No, we are aiming for the maximum, and that's being very conservative in a sense. You know what I mean? That's 15 points. Come on, that's what we should be aiming for. That is the minimum by the time we hit October.
You're right.
But I don't know, because like I said, then otherwise we're just heading into another mediocre season.
Yeah.
This is the shit now. This is it. We've got the players. This is it now. By the time Christmas rolls around, we should be first. Well, like we have been, apart from Byron last season, we should be first, right? And that for me, it's like, okay, at the very least, we're hitting the height that we raised in 2023 season, right? So if we hit that by Christmas and then January rolls around and we keep getting better, that's an improvement, right? But if it goes the other way around and we start getting all the players injured, then it's like, well, nothing's really changed.
I think, and then yeah, you're right, and we should be aiming for that. And if we are at top of Christmas, but I think the gods have conspired against us again to give us this start. But saying that, we weren't beaten last season against any of the top 6, so you never know. It might be in our favour. Liverpool aren't firing all cylinders.
So sorry, with Liverpool, if we go get a draw against Liverpool, that's a point. Get a draw against City, that's another. That's, you know what I mean. So we've dropped 4 points collectively, right? 4, is that? Yeah, 4 points. So again, I'm happy if we get 14. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So speaking now, in all honesty, if we had out of those 6 games, if we had 10 points, I think I would be. If we had 10 points but weren't beaten, then I would be kind of not so despondent as what I think we could, because go to St James's Park, how hard it is. Go to Anfield, how hard it is. That's potentially 0 points.
And Old Trafford as well.
Old Trafford. So if we lose 3 out of 6 and get 3 wins, there's 9 points. So win 3, lose 3. That is a possibility because of the historical times we've played in these games that we don't necessarily do well. So God,
I don't honestly. I think going to St James's, going to Anfield, we've been all right going to Anfield in the last few seasons. St James's has obviously been a problem for us. And again, look, these are the wrongs that we need to right now. Right, we lost against Newcastle 2-3 times last season. We need to beat Newcastle. That's one thing checked off the list. You know what I mean? Aston Villa. Let's stop struggling against Aston Villa. We'll tick that off the list. And for me, Fulham, exactly. So do you see what I'm saying? So these are noticeable changes that we could potentially see. If we've beaten Fulham comfortably, 3-1, 3-0, 4-1, whatever it is, and all these teams that we mentioned, then I'm happy with that. As far as I'm concerned, okay, few things have been ticked off the list that I was concerned about last season going into this season. If we've done that, then again, the next few things is going to be just being a bit more consistent, keeping the players healthy and not injured.
Rotate.
And rotate, exactly. Now you've got enough players to rotate, so theoretically there shouldn't be any injuries, obviously unless a team is set out to injure a certain player from us, which obviously has happened a few times to Arsenal, which is crazy. So that's why again, like I said, 12 to 14 points is the minimum that we should be aiming for, to be honest, when you're looking at these teams. And again, these are the goals that we need to start hitting now. City, we need to start. I'm not saying beat City comfortably, but let's not be scared when we go there. I know we weren't scared. We haven't been scared for the last 3 seasons, but let's continue that.
Well, we're at home so we should be okay.
But I'm saying they've added players, but that doesn't mean anything, right? The scariest player is going to be Haaland. The other players that they brought in, yes, they're good, but they're not Haaland level of scary.
Yeah.
So, and De Bruyne is not there anymore. Foden hasn't played very well. Grealish barely gets a game. So who else do they really have? Rodri's just coming back from injury. He's never going to be the same, really. So again, there's opportunities there to exploit, and the fact that all of our players, or the majority of our players, barring Norgard really, they're all within perfect prime age. We don't have fear of losing a player next season because of retirement. Do you know what I mean? Our fear is losing a player through injury or to injury. So like we did with Tierney. Again, very good player, could have been excellent for us, but unfortunately he was just injury prone. It was just hampered by them. So this is the type of stuff that these are the changes, the tangible changes that can be made, and what we should be aiming for this season.
Yeah.
So,
just a quick prediction. Seeing as though the season hasn't started yet, let me just put this one to you.
I like it. Okay, go on.
It's not a prediction. It's just a question. Would you, if we were top of the league at Christmas and we hadn't been beaten,
would I take it and run? Yes.
Would you settle for an invincible season again and finish second?
No.
I would.
No, do you know why? Because it's...
I would.
Again, come on, man. Like,
do you know why?
It would be an impressive feat. But the fact that we came second and invincible, that to me means that we drew a hell of a lot of games, right? And that's just not good enough. We drew games last season, and it's like, well, this is why we bought strikers and new players, so we can stop drawing against fucking teams.
Yeah, but
great feat though, great achievement for sure. I can't take that away. But
my only thing with that, the thing that I think that would surpass, because it's been done twice and no one's done it once yet. If we won the league, someone could become invincible this season or whatever, and our invincibility, that golden trophy that we hold with great fondness.
Would we get another golden trophy if we came second and invincible?
But would it be ever done again? I don't want anyone ever to be invincible, right?
Or the argument you could also use, the counter argument, is because it's done twice by the same team.
Yes.
Is it that special anymore?
No, it's even more special, isn't it? Come on, it is. You must admit. Well, it's one for debatable, anyway. It's one debate.
Absolutely, and that's a very good one, actually, because I'll put this out as a clip for people out there, just to, let's get their opinions on this. But yeah, like, what do you guys think out there? Like, if we go, invincible, but end up second this season, what do you think? Is that a very good achievement? Would that surpass a Premier League? Let me know in the comments, or let us know in the comments, and let's start a debate about this. That's a good one, actually. I like it. Personally, I want to see the trophy, because I just don't feel like going second invincible and then getting a gold trophy. I just don't think that has. I need to be first and unbeaten. You get me? That's my thing.
Don't get me wrong. To win the Premiership and to be invincible, yes, awesome. But
that's the perfect achievement for me. Like, if you put it in the way that you did, I'd probably still go for the league. I'd want the league for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I hate the fact that Man City, got more Premier Leagues than us. Chelsea got more Premier Leagues than us. Premier League, sorry, not actual English leagues, but they've got more than us, and I hate that fact. Hate it with a passion. I hate the fact that we've only got 3 Premier Leagues. Hate it.
I know.
Literally, but Leicester are 1/3 away from us, and I hate that. Like, genuinely, I don't know. There's something about it which is like, I need at least 5 Premier Leagues in the history of Arsenal to be more than proud. Like, that's what I need. I need at least 2 more Premier Leagues.
Yeah, fair point.
But yeah,
fair point. Jihadi Lazar.
Okay. Last thing I'll say, right, is if we end up second and invincible but win the Champions League, then that's.
I know. I was going to suggest that, but I thought that's adding another 3, isn't it? It's like 3 things. Yeah. You need like what? It's one or the other. It's a 50.
It is. You're right. But yeah, let's see what people say out there. And very interesting question, by the way. I really like it. And cool. Well, we will be back next weekend after all the matches are done. We could do a pod beforehand if anything crazy happens. In the meantime, if we need to discuss a certain player, That's proper English. Right, good.
Well, obviously, quickly, the transfer window doesn't close officially till Monday the 1st of September, so we have got 21 days left.
Yes, as we record this, 21 days. By the time you guys listen to this, is 20 days.
Yes,
there you go.
Absolutely.
But yeah, plenty of time to do something, and hopefully we do something, especially on the left. So cool, excellent. Right, we'll get this podcast out for people to listen to, and thank you so much for bearing with us. Please get involved, hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow, all that type of nice stuff, and we appreciate comments, we appreciate questions, we love the love. We want the love. We want the love through your reviews. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, okay, good. I'm going to go. Thank you so much for being here. Catch you in the next one. Till then, stay safe. Stay low.
Au revoir. CC. Oui, oui.